Commander Olivia Blackwood stood alone in the metal shuttle as it flew toward the massive alien ship. Her heart beat fast, but her face stayed calm. 6 months ago, Earth forces had fought against the Zilarian Empire. Now she was being sent to them as part of the peace deal. The war had been short but deadly. The Zilarian ships came from nowhere, their weapons far stronger than anything Earth had. Thousands died before Earth's leaders begged for peace. Aliens agreed but had strange terms. They wanted one high-ranking human officer to be bonded to their Empress Nixara. Olivia was chosen. She did not know why. She was good at her job, brave in battle, but not special. Yet here she was, flying toward an alien empress while her home planet watched and hoped she would not fail them. "Approaching docking bay," said the computer voice. Olivia straightened her dark blue uniform. She checked her reflection in the metal wall. Her short brown hair was neat, her green eyes clear, her face blank of fear. Good. She would not show weakness. The shuttle slowed and stopped. The door opened with a hiss. Bright white light poured in. Olivia took a deep breath and stepped out. The docking bay was huge, bigger than any room Olivia had ever seen. The walls glowed with soft blue light. Tall, thin aliens stood in perfect lines on each side. They had blue skin that seemed to shine from within. Their faces were almost human, but their eyes were too large, all silver with no whites or pupils. Instead of hair, they had what looked like glowing tentacles that moved. Slowly around their heads, a smaller alien stepped forward. "I am Linra, Royal Advisor to Empress Nixara. You will follow me to the throne room." Its voice was soft and musical, like singing rather than speaking. Olivia nodded and walked behind Linra. They passed through hallways made of what looked like glass but felt warm under her feet. Strange plants grew from the walls, their leaves turning to follow them as they passed. "Your Empress," Olivia said, trying to sound confident. "What is she like?" Linra did not turn around. "She is Empress of the Zilarian Empire, conqueror of the 7 systems, light of the cosmic sea. That is all you need to know." Not helpful, Olivia thought. The briefings on Earth had told her little. The Zilarian were private and kept to themselves before the war. Now, humans knew only that they were powerful, advanced, and dangerous. They reached a huge door made of what looked like crystal. It slid open without a sound. The room inside was even bigger than the docking bay. The ceiling was so high Olivia could barely see it. The floor was polished stone that reflected the stars visible through the glass, walls and ceiling. At the far end, on a raised platform, was a throne that seemed to be made of living light, and on it sat Empress Nixara. Olivia tried not to stare, but it was hard. The Empress was taller than the other aliens, her blue skin darker and more vibrant. The glowing tendrils around her head were longer and moved with more purpose, almost like they were alive. She wore armor that seemed to be made of both metal and crystal, fitted perfectly to her body. Her face was sharp and proud, her silver eyes fixed on Olivia. Linra bowed low. "The human, as requested, your radiance." The Empress stood. She moved, with strange grace, like she was floating rather than walking. She came down the steps from her throne and circled Olivia slowly. "You are smaller than I expected," the Empress said, her voice deeper than Linra's but with the same musical quality. Olivia kept her eyes forward. "And you're more beautiful than the intelligence briefing suggested," she said, then immediately worried she had made a mistake. The Empress stopped in front of her. Her silver eyes widened slightly, the first hint of emotion she had shown. "You speak boldly for someone whose world now belongs to me," the Empress said. "My world agreed to an alliance," Olivia corrected carefully, "not ownership." Several of the court aliens gasped. Linra looked horrified, but the Empress's mouth curved into what might have been a smile. "Take the human to my private chambers," she ordered her guards. "The bonding ceremony will begin at moonrise." Olivia was led away by 2 tall guards. They took her through more glowing hallways to a large room. Inside was a bed big enough for 5 people. Strange plants that moved when she looked at them, and a wall of water that flowed upward instead of down. "You will wait here," one guard said. Both left, the door closing behind them. Olivia sat on the edge of the giant bed. She had been trained for many things: battle, strategy, survival, but not this. What did bonding mean to the Zalarian? Marriage? Something else? And why her? Hours passed. Olivia explored the room but found no way out. The walls had no screens or controls she could understand. There was a pool of glowing water in one corner that seemed to be for bathing. Strange fruits sat in a bowl, but she was afraid to eat them. As she waited, servants came. They brought clothes made of flowing, shimmering material. They tried to help her change, but she sent them away and dressed herself. The outfit was simple but elegant: loose pants and a long tunic in deep green that matched her eyes. Finally, the door opened again. Empress Nixara entered alone. She had changed too, wearing what looked like formal robes rather than armor. Up close, Olivia could see patterns like circuits or writing embedded in the Empress's skin. "Do you know why you are here, human?" the Empress asked. "To seal the peace between our worlds," Olivia said. "Beyond that, no." The Empress moved closer. "There is more, much more." She walked to the water wall and waved her hand. The water parted, revealing a hidden door. "Come. There is something you must see before the ceremony." Olivia hesitated, then followed. Through the door was a small room filled with strange equipment. Screens showed images of cells and DNA strands. In the center was a glowing container. "My people are dying," the Empress said quietly. "Not from war or disease, but from within. For generations we have grown fewer. Our females can no longer bear children. I, the Empress, have failed to produce an heir. It is our greatest shame." She touched the glowing container. Inside, Olivia could see what looked like an egg. "Our scientists studied your kind in secret for years," the Empress continued. "Human DNA is compatible with ours in ways we never imagined. With it, we might save ourselves from extinction." Olivia's mind raced. "This bonding ceremony, it's not just symbolic, is it?" "No," the Empress said. "It is the last hope of my people." She turned to face Olivia. "You are not just any human. Your genetic pattern is special, perfect for what we need." "And if I refuse?" Olivia asked. The Empress's face hardened. "Then the peace ends. The war resumes. Your world burns." She paused. "But you won't refuse. I've studied you, Olivia Blackwood. You are brave and honorable. You will not condemn billions to death when you could save them." Outside, strange music began to play. The Empress held out her hand. "It is time," she said. "The moons have risen." Olivia looked at the offered hand, then at the Empress's face. She thought of Earth, of her duty, of the mysterious future ahead. Then she took the Empress's hand. "I'm ready," she said, though she wasn't sure if that was true. The day started with alarms. Olivia woke instantly, her soldier's instincts kicking in. Beside her, Empress Nixara sat up more slowly, one hand on her large belly. "What's happening?" the Empress asked, her voice calm despite the flashing lights. Before Olivia could answer, Linra burst into their chambers. "The Purity Covenant has launched a full attack. A fleet of stolen warships is approaching. We must get you to safety, Your Radiance." Olivia helped Nixara dress quickly. The Empress was now 8 months pregnant by Earth counting. Those Zalarian pregnancies normally lasted only 6. Their daughter was growing her own way, following neither human nor alien patterns. "To the royal shuttle," Linra ordered. Guards surrounded them as they moved through the corridors of the ship. Olivia's communication device buzzed. It was Admiral Walsh. "Blackwood, are you aware of the situation?" "We're under attack," Olivia confirmed. "The Purity Covenant." "Earth, forces are on the way," Walsh said. "I've ordered our nearest ships to help defend the Empress. Where are you going?" "To Zalara Prime," Olivia said, naming the Zalarian homeworld. "The royal birth must happen in the sacred grounds according to tradition." Walsh looked concerned. That's a 12-hour journey even at top speed. Can the Empress wait that long? She has to, Olivia said. But looking at Nixera, she wasn't so sure. The Empress was walking slower than usual, her face tight with discomfort. They reached the shuttle bay just as the first explosions rocked the ship. The Purity Covenant fleet had begun firing. Loyal Zalarian ships returned fire, the space battle, lighting up the darkness outside the windows. "Get her on board," Linra shouted. The royal shuttle was ready, its engines humming. They hurried up the ramp, the guards forming a protective circle around the Empress. Once inside, Dr. Monroe met them. The human doctor had been caring for Nixera throughout the pregnancy. "Let me check her," she insisted, helping the Empress to a seat. As the shuttle lifted off, Olivia went to the command center. The pilot showed her the situation on the screens. It was bad. At least 20 Purity Covenant ships against 12 loyal vessels. And somewhere out there, Earth forces were coming. But would they arrive in time? "Set course for Zalara Prime," Olivia ordered. "Maximum speed, and keep the Empress's cabin shielded at all costs." The shuttle broke free of the main ship and accelerated away from the battle. 3 loyal Zalarian ships moved to escort them, taking defensive positions around the shuttle. For a while it seemed they might escape. Then 5 Covenant ships broke off from the main fight and gave chase. "They're gaining on us," the pilot warned. Olivia gripped the edge of the console. "Evasive maneuvers, and send a distress call to any Earth ships in range." In the medical area, Nixara suddenly cried out in pain. Olivia rushed to her side. "What's wrong?" she asked Dr. Monroe, who was scanning the Empress with a medical device. "The baby is coming," the doctor said grimly. "The stress of the attack has triggered labor." "No!" Nixara gasped. "Not here! Not now! It must be on Zalara Prime in the sacred pools." "Your Radiance," Dr. Monroe said firmly. "This baby isn't waiting for tradition. She's coming now." Another explosion rocked the shuttle. One of their escort ships had been hit. Through the window, Olivia could see it spinning away, flames erupting from its engines. "How long until Earth forces reach us?" she asked the pilot. "At least 20 minutes, he replied. "We may not have that long." Olivia made a quick decision. "Change course. Head for the nearest safe haven, the space station at Lyra Point." "But the sacred pools," Linra began. "We'll have to wait for the next royal birth." Olivia cut him off. "My priority is keeping the Empress and our child alive." Another hit, closer this time. The shuttle shuddered. Warning lights flashed on the control panels. "Engine damage," the pilot reported. "We're losing speed." In the medical area, Nixara screamed. It was a sound Olivia had never heard from the usually controlled Empress. She rushed back to her side. "I'm here," she said, taking the Empress's hand. "I'm right here." Nixara's silver eyes were wide with pain and fear. "If I don't survive—" "Don't talk like that," Olivia interrupted. "You'll be fine, we'll be fine. Listen." The Empress squeezed her hand with surprising strength. "If I don't survive, take our daughter to Earth. Keep her safe from the Covenant. Promise me." Olivia swallowed hard. "I promise. But it won't come to that." Dr. Monroe looked up from her equipment. "The baby is in distress. And there's something else. The Empress's body is rejecting some of the human genetic material. It's causing her systems to fail." "Can you stop it?" Olivia demanded. "I'm trying," the doctor said. "But I need more time and a stable environment, neither of which we have right now." Another explosion, the closest yet. The lights flickered and emergency power kicked in. The pilot's voice came over the speakers. "We've lost our last escort. Covenant ships are closing in. Impact in 60 seconds. Olivia looked around desperately. They needed a miracle. As if in answer, her communication device buzzed. "Blackwood, we've reached your position." It was Admiral Walsh's voice. "The USS Defender is engaging the Covenant ships now. Hold on." Through the window, Olivia could see the massive Earth battleship firing at the pursuing Covenant vessels. Hope surged through her. "Did you hear that?" she told Nixara. "Help is here, just hold on a little longer." The Empress nodded weakly. her blue skin paler than normal. The tendrils around her head moved slowly, showing her fading strength. "Push now," Dr. Monroe ordered. "The baby needs to come out immediately." Nixara gathered her strength and pushed. Olivia held her hand, whispering encouragement. Outside, the battle raged. The shuttle rocked with near misses. "I see the head," Dr. Monroe announced. "One more big push." With a final cry of pain and effort, Nixara pushed. And then, cutting through the sounds of battle and alarms, came a new sound, a baby's cry. "She's here," Dr. Monroe said, lifting a tiny form. "She's alive!" Olivia stared in wonder at their daughter. The baby had pale blue skin, lighter than Nixara's but definitely not human pink. Her tiny hands had 10 perfect fingers. Her eyes, when they opened briefly, flashed between human hazel and Zilarian silver. "Let me see her," Nixara whispered, her voice weak. Dr. Monroe placed the baby on the Empress's chest. Nixara touched the child's face gently. "She's beautiful," she said. "Perfect." "What shall we name her?" Olivia asked, her voice thick with emotion. "Lyra," Nixara said without hesitation. "In your human tongue, it means the harp that makes the stars sing. She will unite our worlds." As she spoke, the Empress's eyes began to close. The monitors attached to her started beeping urgently. "She's crashing," Dr. Monroe shouted. "Her systems are failing." Olivia took the baby, holding her close with one arm while gripping Nixara's hand with her free hand. "Stay with us," she pleaded. "Stay with me. Lyra needs her mother. Both her mothers." Dr. Monroe worked frantically, injecting medicines, adjusting settings on her devices. "I need to stabilize her, but we need to get to a proper medical facility now." The shuttle lurched suddenly. Olivia looked out the window and saw they were being pulled into the docking bay of a larger ship, the USS Defender. "We've got you." Admiral Walsh's voice came over the speakers. "Medical team standing by." As soon as they docked, the doors opened and human medical staff rushed in. They took one look at the situation and moved quickly, transferring Nixara to a stretcher. "Critical alien patient," Dr. Monroe told them rapidly. "Postpartum complications, hybrid birth, systemic failure." They rushed the Empress to the human ship's medical bay. Olivia followed, still holding baby Lyra. The newborn was surprisingly quiet now, her strange eyes looking around with what seemed like awareness no human baby would have. In the medical bay, doctors from both species worked together. The Solarian physician who had been on the shuttle explained their biology while human doctors contributed their knowledge. Dr. Monroe coordinated, her experience with both species proving invaluable. Hours passed in tense waiting. Olivia sat in a chair near the operating area, gently rocking Lyra. Admiral Walsh found her there. "Quite a day you've had, Blackwood," she said, looking at the baby with undisguised curiosity. "So this is the child everyone's fighting over." "This is my daughter," Olivia corrected. "And she's not the reason for the fighting. Fear is. Hate is." Walsh nodded slowly. "Maybe, but you have to admit, she changes everything." She reached out tentatively. "May I?" Olivia carefully handed Lyra to the Admiral. Walsh held the baby awkwardly. At first, then more naturally. "She feels human," Walsh said with surprise. "But looks like both of us," Olivia finished. "She's the first of her kind." "Let's hope she's accepted better than most firsts in history," Walsh said, handing Lyra back. "The Defender will take you to Earth. You'll be safer there until the Empress. Until we know." "No," Olivia said firmly. "When Nixara wakes up, she needs to see her daughter. We stay together." Before Walsh could argue, Dr. Monroe emerged from the operating area. She looked exhausted but was smiling slightly. "She's stabilized," she announced. "It was close, but we found a way to stop the rejection. The combination of Zilarian healing techniques and human medicine did what neither could do alone." Olivia felt tears of relief fill her eyes. "Can I see her?" "Briefly." "She's very weak." 3 months passed since the bonding ceremony. Olivia learned to live in the alien world of the Zilarian ship. The ceremony had been strange but simple. She and Empress Nixara had shared a cup of glowing blue liquid. Their hands were tied with a living vine that wrapped around their wrists on its own. The Empress spoke words in her language that no one translated. Then it was done. They were bonded. Life with the Empress was not what Olivia expected. In public, Nixara was cold and distant. She barely looked at Olivia during royal meetings or meals with her advisors. But in private, she was different. Curious. She asked endless questions about Earth, about humans, about Olivia herself. "Your world has so many languages," Nixara said one night as they sat in her chambers. "Why not just speak one?" "Humans are stubborn," Olivia said with a small smile. "We like to keep our own ways." The Empress tilted her head. The glowing tendrils around her head moved gently, like they were thinking too. "Yet you adapt so quickly. You have learned our food, our customs, our daily patterns in just 3 moon cycles. I'm a soldier. Adapting is what we do." Nixara moved closer on the large couch they shared. "You are more than a soldier now. You are my bondmate." Olivia wasn't sure what that meant exactly. They shared the Empress's huge bed, but only for sleep. The Empress never touched her except during formal events when it was required. Yet there was something growing between them. Not love, not yet, but understanding. Every day Olivia noticed things. The Empress had medical checks 3 times a day. She drank strange potions that made her wince. Sometimes when she thought Olivia wasn't looking, pain crossed her face and she held her stomach. Olivia had medical checks too. Alien doctors took her blood, scanned her body, asked odd questions about her family history. They never explained why. One day a call came from Earth. It was Admiral Catherine Walsh, the highest-ranking human in contact with the Zalarian. "Commander Blackwood," Walsh said, her face serious on the screen. "Report your status." "I'm fine, Admiral," Olivia said. "The Zalarian have treated me well." Walsh leaned closer to the screen. "That's not what I'm asking. What have you learned? Why did they want this bonding? Our scientists are worried." Olivia glanced around the room, worried about who might be listening. "I'm not sure yet, but there's something wrong with their people. Medical problems. The Empress has many treatments. Find out more," Walsh ordered. "Earth needs to know what we're dealing with. This could be a trick." After the call ended, Olivia sat thinking. She had begun to trust Nixara, at least a little, but her duty was still to Earth. She needed to know the truth. That night she waited until the Empress was asleep. Nixara lay on her side, her blue skin glowing softly in the dark room. The tendrils around her head moved slowly, like they were dreaming too. Olivia slipped out of bed carefully. The Empress had a private computer terminal in her chambers. Olivia had watched her use it many times, learning the patterns of hand movements that unlocked it. Now she tried to copy those movements. To her, surprise, it worked. The alien writing was hard to understand, but Olivia had been learning. She searched through files, looking for anything about the bonding or human DNA. What she found shocked her. Files and files of research, decades of secret study of humans, images of DNA strands being merged with Zalarian patterns, and most surprising, pictures of Olivia herself taken years before the war when she had no idea the Zalarian even existed. They had been watching her, studying her, planning this for years. She found medical reports about the Empress. The Zalarian were dying out because their females couldn't have babies anymore. Something in their evolution had gone wrong. The royal bloodline was the worst affected. Empress Nixara had tried many times to have a child, but failed. The last file made Olivia's heart race. It showed her DNA merged with the Empress's. The note said there was a 67% chance of success in creating a child. The treatments had already begun. "Now you know our shame." Olivia spun around. Nixara stood behind her, wrapped in a flowing robe, her face sad in the light from the screen. "You've been planning this all along," Olivia said. "The war, the peace treaty, the bonding, it was all to get my DNA. Not just yours, Nixara said. We tried others. They failed. Your pattern is special. You could have asked. Earth has doctors, scientists. We might have helped. Nixara laughed without humor. Would you help the enemy that destroyed your cities? That killed your people? We had to ensure cooperation. Olivia stood up, angry now. So I'm just a breeding experiment? A lab animal? No. For the first time, the Empress showed strong emotion. She stepped forward and grabbed Olivia's hands. You are not just a specimen. The Council picked you specifically. Your records showed compassion, intelligence, adaptability, traits our child will need. Olivia pulled her hands away. Your child. Our child. Nixara corrected. She placed a hand on her own stomach. I will carry it. The treatments have begun. That is why I need the medical checks. That is why I drink the potions. You're trying to get pregnant? With my DNA somehow mixed with yours? The Empress nodded. It has never been done before. But our scientists believe it will work. Her voice softened. I did not tell you because I feared it would fail like all my other attempts. I did not want you to share my disappointment. Olivia sat down heavily on a chair. This was too much to process. Does Earth know? Do your people know? Only my closest advisors and doctors know the full truth. My people know I seek an heir. Your leaders know only what we told them, that the bonding would ensure peace. Admiral Walsh suspects something, Olivia said. She ordered me to find out what's really happening. And now you know. Nixara sat beside her. What will you tell her? Olivia should report everything. That was her duty. But looking at the Empress, seeing the hope and fear in those alien eyes, she felt torn. I need time to think, she said finally. Nixara nodded. I understand. But know this. If we succeed, our child will change everything. It will be the first of a new kind. Not fully Zolarian, not fully human. It will belong to both worlds. And if we fail, Olivia asked, then my people will continue to fade. In 3 generations, we will be gone. The Empress stood. Think on this tonight. Tomorrow, decide where your loyalty lies. She went back to bed, leaving Olivia alone with the glowing screen and her troubled thoughts. The next morning, Olivia made her decision. When Admiral Walsh called again, she told her some of the truth, that the Zolarian had fertility problems that they hoped human biology might help. But she left out the part about her own DNA being used, about the Empress's treatments. Those secrets she kept. Is this a threat to Earth? Walsh asked. No, Olivia said firmly. It's a chance for real peace. If we help them, they have reason to be our allies forever. Walsh didn't look convinced, but she nodded. Keep me updated. And be careful, Blackwood. Don't let yourself get too close to them. Remember where you come from. After the call, Olivia found Nixara in her private garden. The Empress was sitting by a pool of glowing water, her face tired. I told my Admiral some of the truth, Olivia said. Not everything, but enough. Nixara looked up. And the rest? The rest stays between us. For now. Olivia sat beside her. But I want to be involved, no more secrets. If this child will be part of me, I want to know everything that happens. The Empress's face showed surprise, then relief. You would help us willingly? I'm not doing it for the Zolarian, Olivia said honestly. I'm doing it because a child deserves to be wanted by both parents, even if those parents come from different worlds. For the first time, Nixara reached out and touched Olivia's face gently. Thank you, she said softly. That night, they spoke for hours. The Empress told Olivia about Zolarian childhood, their customs for raising children, their beliefs about family. Olivia shared stories of her own childhood on Earth. As they talked, something shifted between them. The bond that had been created by ceremony began to feel real. If it works, Olivia said as they finally prepared for sleep, what will the child be like? Beautiful, Nixara said without hesitation. Strong, a bridge between stars. Olivia smiled, at the poetry in the Empress's words. Perhaps this strange journey would lead somewhere good after all. 5 years passed quickly. Olivia stood by the large window in their quarters on New Harmony Station, watching ships come and go. The space station hung in orbit between Earth and Zelaria, a symbol of the alliance between the two worlds. It was home now. Mama, look, is that a Centaurian ship? Olivia smiled down at the small blue-skinned child beside her. Lyra pressed her face against the glass, her eyes wide with excitement. Those eyes were perhaps her most striking feature. They shifted from human hazel to Zellarian silver, depending on her mood. Yes, that's a Centaurian trade vessel, Olivia confirmed. See the rainbow colors from its engines? That's how you can tell. Lyra nodded seriously, storing away this information like she did everything. At 5 years old, she was already smarter than most adult humans in some ways. She spoke 3 languages fluently: English, Zellarian, and Centaurian. She could do complex math in her head. Yet in other ways, she was very much a child, full of questions and wonder. When is Mother coming? Lyra asked, turning from the window. Soon, Olivia promised. Her meeting with the Earth delegation should be ending now. As if on cue, the door to their quarters slid open. Empress Nixara entered, her royal robes replaced with the simpler clothing she wore in private. She moved more slowly than she once had, a reminder of how close they had come to losing her when Lyra was born. The experimental treatment Dr. Monroe had developed had saved her life but left her with lasting effects. Mother. Lyra ran to her, arms outstretched. Nixara knelt to embrace her daughter, the tendrils around her head gently wrapping around Lyra's shoulders in a uniquely Zellarian show of affection. My little star singer, she said warmly. Have you been studying your diplomatic protocols? The Arcturian ambassador asked about you. Yes, Lyra said proudly. I practiced with Aunt Catherine too. Admiral Walsh, now Ambassador Walsh, had become an unexpected ally and friend to their unusual family. After the battle with the Purity Covenant 5 years ago, she had stood by Olivia's decision to stay with Nixara and Lyra. Later, she helped convince Earth's leaders that the hybrid child was a bridge between worlds, not a threat. The ambassador was impressed with your progress, Nixara told Lyra. Perhaps next time you can join us for part of the meeting. Lyra beamed at this, her eyes flashing silver with excitement. Later, after Lyra had gone to bed, Olivia and Nixara sat together on the couch in their living area, watching the stars through the window. How did the meeting really go? Olivia asked quietly. Nixara sighed. Progress is slow but steady. Earth's new president is more open to technology sharing than the last one, and there were no mentions of Lyra as a genetic experiment this time. Olivia nodded. It had taken years for some humans to stop seeing their daughter as some kind of laboratory creation or political tool. Some still didn't accept her. But things were improving. And on your side? She asked. The Council of Elders has finally agreed, Nixara said. When Lyra comes of age, she will be eligible to rule both worlds if she chooses. And if she doesn't choose? Olivia asked, watching a distant ship disappear into faster-than-light travel, leaving a brief flash of light. Nixara's fingers intertwined with Olivia's. Then she will forge her own path, as we did. Either way, she has changed everything. It was true. Before Lyra, the Zellarian had been a dying race, their numbers dwindling with each generation. Now, using the techniques developed for Nixara's pregnancy, other Zellarian females had successfully had children, some with human DNA, others with compatible species from other worlds. Their population was slowly growing again. Earth had changed too. The technology shared by the Zellarian had advanced human medicine, space travel, and energy production. Both worlds were stronger together than they had been apart. Not that the path had been smooth. The remnants of the Purity Covenant still caused trouble in the outer star systems. Earth still had groups that feared alien influence. But these voices grew quieter each year. Ambassador Walsh mentioned something interesting today, Nixara said. A new joint colony on Proxima Centauri B. Humans and Zellarian living and working together from the start, rather than trying to merge existing settlements. That could work, Olivia said thoughtfully. Build something new together, without the baggage of either world. She suggested we might visit as a family, show Lyra what the future could be. Olivia smiled. I'd like that. It's been too long since we traveled somewhere that wasn't for official business. A small sound from the doorway made them both turn. Lyra stood there in her nightclothes, her hair tousled from bed. I had a dream, she said. Olivia opened her arms and Lyra came to snuggle between her parents on the couch. What kind of dream, sweetheart? I was older, Lyra said, and I was on a planet with 2 suns. There were children like me, blue skin but human eyes, or human skin with silver eyes. We were building something big together. Nixara and Olivia exchanged a look over their daughter's head. Lyra sometimes had dreams that seemed more like visions. The Zalarian called it star-seeing, a rare gift even among their people. That sounds like a good dream, Nixara said, stroking Lyra's hair. It was, Lyra agreed. But there was something else. A bad ship came. People were scared. Olivia held her daughter closer. It was just a dream. You're safe here with us. But later, after Lyra had fallen asleep again in her own bed, Olivia brought it up with Nixara. Do you think she's sensing something real? About the Covenant? Nixara looked troubled. Perhaps. The latest reports say Mevra has been gathering supporters again. Mevra, the leader of the Purity Covenant, had escaped during the battle 5 years ago. Since then, she had become almost a ghost story, appearing briefly to cause trouble, then vanishing before she could be caught. We should increase security for the anniversary celebration next week, Olivia suggested. If the Covenant wanted to make a statement, that would be the perfect time. The celebration would mark 5 years since the founding of New Harmony Station, and the formal alliance between Earth and Zalaria. Leaders from both worlds would attend, along with representatives from a dozen other species who had joined the growing galactic community. I'll speak to security tomorrow, Nixara agreed, and perhaps we should ask Walsh to run extra scans on incoming ships. The next morning, Lyra had forgotten her troubling dream. She was excited about her lessons with her Centaurian tutor and chatted happily at breakfast about the new language she was learning. Centaurians have 4 different words for friend, she told her parents, depending on how you met and how long you've known each other. That's fascinating, Olivia said, genuinely impressed. Which word would you use for Ambassador Walsh? Lyra thought for a moment. Tlakarn, she decided. That means a friend who started as something else but became family through shared experiences. Very good, Nixara praised. Your understanding of linguistic nuance is excellent. Later that day, while Lyra was at her lessons, Olivia met with Walsh in the station security center. They reviewed the plans for the anniversary celebration. We've doubled the patrol ships, Walsh said, and every vessel entering the system will be scanned 3 times before being allowed to dock. Good, Olivia said. And what about internal security? Walsh pulled up a map of the station on the large screen. Guards here, here, and here, she said, pointing. Both human and Zalarian, working in pairs. And we've installed new scanners that can detect weapons, explosives, and biological agents. Olivia nodded, studying the map. What about Lyra? I want extra protection for her during the public events. Already arranged, Walsh assured her. 4 of my best people, plus 2, Zalarian Royal Guards. They'll never be more than 3 meters from her at any time. Thank you, Catherine, Olivia said sincerely. I know I'm being overprotective, but she's the future, Walsh finished. And not just your daughter, though that would be reason enough. She represents what we can become together. The week passed quickly, filled with preparations for the celebration. Lyra was fitted for a special outfit that combined elements of both cultures. A formal Earth-style dress in Zalarian royal blue, with flowing elements that mimicked the movement of Zalarian traditional clothing. The night before the celebration, Olivia found Nixara standing on their private balcony, looking out at the stars. Nervous about tomorrow? Olivia asked, joining her. A little, Nixara admitted. Not about the ceremony itself, but about what it means. 5 years ago, I nearly died giving birth to a child who shouldn't have been possible. Now that child is the symbol of unity for multiple worlds. It's a lot of pressure for a 5-year-old, Olivia agreed. For all of us, Nixara said. Sometimes I wonder if we're asking too much of her. Olivia thought about this. We're not forcing her into anything. We're just opening doors. She'll choose which ones to walk through. Nixara smiled slightly. When did you become so wise, Commander Blackwood? That's Regent Blackwood to you, your radiance, Olivia teased back, using her official title. As Nixara's bondmate and Lyra's other parent, she had been given the title of Regent, with all the political power that came with it. They stood together in comfortable silence, watching the stars. After a while, Nixara spoke again. Do you ever regret it, staying with us, giving up your life on Earth? The news spread quickly through the Zalarian Empire. Empress Nixara was with child. The impossible had happened. After countless failed attempts, the royal bloodline would continue. The Zalarians celebrated with festivals of light, their ships glowing with joy as they traveled the stars. Olivia watched it all with mixed feelings. Over the past month, she had grown closer to Nixara. Their talks had become deeper, more personal. Sometimes, Olivia caught herself staring at the Empress, admiring the way her blue skin caught the light, the graceful way she moved. These feelings confused her. Earth's reaction to the news was different. Some humans were happy about the stronger alliance this created. Others were suspicious or even angry. They tricked us, one Earth leader said during a video meeting that Olivia attended. They used our officer for breeding experiments. I wasn't tricked, Olivia said firmly. I know what's happening and I support it. Admiral Walsh studied her carefully. Are you sure about that, Commander? Or have they changed your thinking somehow? My mind is my own, Olivia snapped, and this child will be good for both our worlds. After the meeting, Nixara found Olivia in their chambers. Your people are not happy, she said. Some aren't, Olivia admitted. They're afraid of change, as are some of mine. The Empress sat heavily on a couch. Her stomach was just beginning to show the curve of pregnancy. The High Council worries about a half-human heir. Some call it impure. Olivia sat beside her. Do you regret it? Nixara placed a hand on her stomach. Never. This child is hope itself. A week later, Earth sent Dr. Lily Monroe to the Zalarian ship. She was a human doctor specializing in unusual pregnancies. Her real job, Olivia suspected, was to spy for Earth, but she welcomed the doctor anyway. Nixara needed the best care possible. Dr. Monroe ran tests and scans. Her face grew more concerned with each one. The fetus is developing strangely, she told Olivia privately. Not badly, just differently. It's taking genetic material from both of you, but the combination is creating something new. Neither fully human nor fully Zalarian. Is it healthy? Olivia asked, worried. So far, yes, but I've never seen anything like this. The growth rate is faster than human normal, but slower than what the Zalarian doctors expected. The brain activity is off the charts. When she shared these findings with Nixara, the Empress seemed pleased. Our child will be special, she said. The first of a new kind. Not everyone was happy about a new kind of being. On Earth, religious groups protested what they called an abomination. Military leaders worried it might be a Zalarian trick to create super soldiers. Among the Zalarian, traditionalists questioned if a half-human could truly rule their empire someday. Worst of all, a group called the Purity Covenant emerged. They were Zalarian who believed in keeping their species clean of outside influence. Their leader was Mevra, once a trusted advisor to the Empress. Now she called for rebellion. The Empress has been corrupted by human influence, Mevra announced in a message broadcast across the galaxy. The abomination she carries will destroy our sacred bloodline forever. True Zalarian must rise up and stop this before it spreads. At first, they were just words. Then came actions. A human Zalarian science station was attacked. 3 scientists died. Next, a transport ship carrying supplies for the Empress was destroyed. The message was clear. The Purity Covenant would not allow the hybrid child to live. Security around. Nixara doubled, then tripled. Olivia barely left her side. The Empress, now 4 months pregnant, was showing more. Her stomach curved outward, and sometimes Olivia could see movement beneath the blue skin. One night, as they lay in bed, Nixara took Olivia's hand and placed it on her stomach. "Feel," she whispered. Olivia felt a strong kick against her palm. Tears came to her eyes unexpectedly. "That's our baby," she said softly. "She has your strength," Nixara said, smiling. It was the first time the Empress had mentioned the baby's gender. She? It's a girl? Yes. The scans confirmed it yesterday. Olivia gently rubbed the Empress's stomach, feeling another kick. "A daughter," she said, testing the word. "I never thought I'd have a child. My career in the military didn't leave room for family." "Nor did my duties as Empress," Nixara said. "Yet here we are." They looked at each other in the dim light. Slowly, carefully, Olivia leaned forward and kissed Nixara. The Empress stiffened in surprise, then relaxed, returning the kiss. It was their first, though they had been bonded for months. When they separated, Nixara touched Olivia's face wonderingly. "I did not expect to feel this way about a human," she admitted. "When we planned the bonding, it was only for the child." "And now?" Olivia asked. "Now it is more, much more." Their peaceful moment ended with a loud alarm. Red lights flashed throughout the chambers. Linra burst in without knocking. "Your Radiance, we must move you immediately." The Purity Covenant has breached the ship's defenses. Guards rushed in, surrounding the Empress. Olivia grabbed her uniform and quickly pulled it on. Taking the weapon one guard offered her, they hurried through the corridors of the ship, heading for the escape pods. They had almost reached safety when the attack came. 6 Zalarian in black armor appeared from a side passage. Their skin was darker blue than most, and the tendrils around their heads moved aggressively like angry snakes. "Protect the Empress!" Linra shouted. The guards formed a circle around Nixara. Olivia stayed at her side, weapon ready. The fighting was fast and brutal. Energy weapons fired, lighting the corridor with blue and red flashes. 3 guards fell. 2 attackers died. 1 attacker broke through the line. He charged straight for the Empress, a curved blade in his hand. Without thinking, Olivia jumped between them. She fired her weapon, but the attacker kept coming. They crashed together, falling to the floor. Olivia felt a burning pain in her side as the blade cut her, but her military training took over. She twisted, slammed her elbow into the attacker's throat, then fired her weapon again at point-blank range. The attacker collapsed. More guards arrived, securing the area. Olivia tried to stand, but stumbled. Her uniform was wet with blood. "Olivia!" Nixara caught her before she fell. "She's injured. Get the doctor." They carried Olivia to the medical bay. Dr. Monroe worked quickly, stopping the bleeding and closing the wound. "She'll be okay," she told the worried Empress. "The blade missed anything vital. She needs rest." Nixara refused to leave Olivia's side. She sat beside the bed, holding Olivia's hand as she slept. When Olivia finally woke, the Empress's silver eyes were the first thing she saw. "The baby?" Olivia asked immediately. "Safe," Nixara assured her. "Thanks to you." "Good." Olivia tried to sit up but winced in pain. "Be still," the Empress ordered. "You nearly died protecting us." "It's my job," Olivia said weakly. "No." Nixara squeezed her hand. "Your job was to be a symbol of peace, not to fight, not to bleed for us." "For you," Olivia corrected. "I did it for you, and for her." She nodded toward the Empress's stomach. Nixara's eyes softened. "Why? We took you from your world, used you for our purposes." "That was true at first," Olivia admitted. "But things change. People change." She took a deep breath. "I've changed." The Empress leaned down and kissed her gently. As have I. Later, that day, Admiral Walsh called. She had heard about the attack and Olivia's injury. "We're sending a ship," she said. "We're bringing you home, Commander." "No," Olivia said firmly. "My place is here." Walsh frowned. "That's not your decision to make. Earth Command wants you back. Tell them I respectfully refuse." "That's desertion, Blackwood. You're still an Earth officer." Olivia looked at Nixara, who stood nearby watching with concern. "I'm more than that now," she said. "I'm going to be a mother." Walsh's eyes widened. "What are you talking about? The Empress is carrying the child." "It's my child too," Olivia said. "My DNA, my daughter, and I won't abandon her or her mother." After a long silence, Walsh sighed. "I'll talk to Command. But they won't like this, Blackwood. Not one bit." When the call ended, Nixara came to Olivia's side. "You would stay even if it means losing your position, your world?" "Earth will always be my home," Olivia said. "But my family is here now." The Empress's face showed more emotion than Olivia had ever seen. "Then we must keep you both safe," she said, touching her stomach. "The Purity Covenant will try again." "Let them," Olivia said fiercely. "I'll be ready." The attack changed things between them. What had started as duty, then grown to friendship and attraction, now deepened into something like love. They spent hours talking about the future, about how to raise a child who belonged to two worlds, about the challenges their daughter would face. "She will need a name," Nixara said one evening as they watched the stars from their chamber window. "In human tradition, parents often each suggest names," Olivia said. "The Empress considered this a good tradition. I will think on it." As Olivia recovered from her wound and Nixara's pregnancy progressed, they made plans. The Purity Covenant remained a threat, but they would face it together. Their daughter would be born into a dangerous galaxy, but she would have two mothers ready to protect her, one human, one Zalarian, both determined to give her a future where she belonged.